I'm going to do like an insight video today. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts again, as I always do. And these podcasts are usually sort of I'm directed to them um, via sort of like my guides, or you want to say your higher self, or you want to say spirit, source, the universe. And I'm sort of like I'm directed to these podcasts quite a few times. And what a lot of people are talking about is source energy at the moment, and this is something I've been talking about for a while, and it's something that's made sense to me for a long time. A lot of people name, like universal spirit or God or all these other kind of names you want to use for this omnipotent being, omnipotent being. For me, it's like it's always been like a source energy. It's always been energy and light, and that very much makes sense to me. So there's people talking about at the moment, like we've been talking about fifth dimensional reality and how this is related to our experience as a spiritual being. And what they were saying about this fifth dimensional reality, it's a lady named actually Leanne Rose, her name was, and she's like a trans medium for this collective of beings that come through her. And she talks about like a sixth dimensional reality, which I found quite interesting. But they were talking about like source energy, and they was talking about like the fifth dimensional reality is this kind of reality where we're trying to dissolve the human side of who we are, and sort of like move into a more spiritual life and be more like essence and source, which a lot of the vibration has been about in the fifth dimension. And they start to talk about like Telos and like this community that lives in Mount Shasta, and they talk about like Shambhala and all these other different sort of dimensional realities, these ethereal realities, that beings live in, that they've got bodies of energy and bodies of light, which we are connected to, and we do have our own light bodies, and we have our own light frequencies, and I see this regularly, and this is harnessed with like within my inner, in my own source. I can feel this where I vibrate from inside, and when I look out, I vibrate with light and energy. So it's like you look out from within, is only how I can explain it, and that sort of like connects again into this universal law of correspondence, where what you create within the inside is reflected out and then is projected out into the 3D reality of like the physical reality of physical life, and so very much like relates to that. But the 5D reality, they were talking about how it's all about trying to dissolve the human side, and what this sixth dimensional and this lady Leanne Rose was talking about is the human aspects of self are why we're here, but also they need to be integrated and need to be part of the process. So being human and having those kind of aspects of human self and those challenges and those things that you go through, obviously what allows you to then move and integrate more of like a multi-dimensional being, because they talk about in the sixth dimension that you're a multi-dimensional being. So there's more different dimensions to you, which a lot of people believe anyway. So that's the sort of stuff that I've been like drawn to, and a lot of it's around like integration, source energy, and it's very much sort of like trying to move through these things at the moment, because the shifting is very much happening with that. I woke up again this morning and I was in a meditation, and I felt like again I was being given this energy that was going through my heart center, and it was really just flowing through. It was a bright orange sort of like color, and it was just dissolving everything and just allowing myself to be aligned again. And I think part of that sort of six dimensional reality again is that kind of alignment where you align all aspects of the dimensional being. She was also saying that your six dimensional like your 3D sort of reality is projected from your six dimensional reality or dimensional energy or frequency, and it's projected into the 3D reality, so that a lot of the stuff that is drawn down from like your higher self, your source, also comes from that kind of reality and that frequency. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment. I feel like there's been a lot of dissolving, a lot of cleansing, a lot of clearing, so much going on for so many people, and to be honest, that's why I've not had a few sort of I haven't done a few videos the last few days or weeks, because I've literally been doing lots of inner work on myself and where I'm at within my own reality. and just trying to dissolve some of this stuff and just move through it. So I think we're very much at that time where it's looking at your energy, your frequency, and how you use that. The universal laws are still essential. I'm being very much sort of like connected to oneness, and this frequency of it, of oneness, and I'm being directed to that daily, and I'm being sort of like told to try and start seeing that, uh, and sort of like try and use that as a frequency and understand how things are interconnected and how um, I should start sort of living in that way. And again, we're talking about the sixth dimensional reality, and talking about multi-dimensional beings. Well, oneness would make sense because there's no separation. So that's what oneness is. It's like that we're all part of this spirit world, and we're all part of this infinite spiritual sort of connected, this brotherhood, and none of this is separate. The source energy is what keeps everything connected, which we're all part of. And yesterday I was sitting there and having a meditation, and a being stepped forward with white hair and blue eyes, and was dressed in white. And somebody was talking about this yesterday. They were talking. I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking, why is it always you see like beings step forward with white light or white energy, and why are they always white, and why have they always got blue eyes? Why do they always look so angelic? And for me, whenever I see something like that, it's not necessarily what the guide looks like or what the energy is. It's about the frequency and the color to me. So white to me is like a high vibration. It's pure. It brings this higher awareness, this high vibration, and also high energy comes with it. Clarity, purity, truth, all those kind of things are connected to white. And as I see it, I see like a crystal clear white crystal as I start to talk about this. So I know that this being's bringing that kind of energy, and that crystal, that white, crystal clear white crystal brings clarity, it brings truth, it brings high energy, high frequency, and it also sort of and the blue is very much around sort of like, the eyes are very much around sort of knowledge and wisdom, and the blue is very much around that knowledge and wisdom, peace, healing, truth, all those kind of things. But also, if you'd start looking at blue around Archangel Michael, it's very much around protection as well. And that was another thing, it's like visions of, using like protection, and using white light as a way of sort of like, and also don't forget white light. I mean, as I'm sitting there coming into this sort of like this kind of vision of this, I'm seeing this crystal clear, like quartz crystal, but I'm now seeing it as a mirror. So I know with protection, that was something that I've been given before, where you use mirrors and you put like long mirrors up, so you can put like whatever color you want on there. So it could be like blue, it could be like pink, it could be orange, whatever you want to reflect back to that person. So you could put a pink mirror up, so if somebody sends some negativity to you, that you put this mirror up around you, it can literally, it just then reflects back love and like harmony, balance, peace to this person. And you can do it with blue as well, where it's like blue brings peace, it brings this sort of, again, healing, it brings understanding, it brings knowledge, all that kind of stuff. So those kind of things happen. But when I was seeing that a second ago, I was seeing like a mirror, but like a reflective mirror, but like crystal clear again. So this energy would be coming to you and then reflecting back. But again, the mirror is about crystal clear clarity. So this is what this being brings, and this is what I'm trying to say. When you start getting into that feeling of what's coming, of what that being or that guide brings, it's more about sitting in the energy and waiting to see what comes up. What do you feel? What do you sense? What's coming up for you? So there's a lot of that going on at the moment. There's a lot of new energies that are coming through, and the fact they're talking about sixth dimension now, as a little while ago we were talking about 5D. But I also believe the way things are at the moment with the energy frequencies that are going on, we are going a lot higher than just 5D. I feel like this with the light bodies, and that they're higher than 5D. That they're higher. There are 6 to 7D. And we've got beings around us that are bringing those kind of frequencies at this moment. And we're very much connected. And this is what's going on with the planet, that the dimensions are aligning, the universe is aligning, and we're starting to align again with it. And this is what all these moons and these sort of eclipses are bringing at the moment. They're bringing these openings, these like lunar eclipses, or not, or like these full moons, and everything that's coming. They're opening up. They're acting as portals of bringing the energy back. As we start to shift and act as spiritual beings, then we will start to open up again, and we'll start to open up again to this universal sort of dimensions and these universal frequencies that we haven't been connected for a long time. And this is what's going on very much at this time now. So it's about just opening up to your energy, and it's also being very conscious. I mean, working in source energy is being very conscious of source is accepting of all things, source is loving of all things, and source is also everything is born of source. So I am you and you are me in that sense, because we are all source energy. We're all born from that source. So it's also about this time is about recognizing within each of us, your essence, my essence. We're all part of the same source energy, and in that sense, we're all connected. And this again is the oneness. This is what source brings. It's a oneness vibration, and it very much connects to that. Again, very important at the moment with Saint Germain. I have Saint Germain actually on my I have a picture of Saint Germain actually on my sort of like my phone. I walk around with it on there all the time, and I think Saint Germain's a really, really important sort of like ascended masters. They're all important because they're all connected, but at this time, obviously, the perpetual transmutation, which the universal law talks about, where you can transform any kind of anything at the moment. You've got the ability to transform that energy and move it and create it and shape it into something else. And I think this is what Saint Germain brings with his violent flame. And this is what's needed at this time, because we need to be constantly, as creators, which we are these co-creators, we need to be constantly re-evaluating and co-creating in the moment, in the power of now, like Eckhart Tolle would say. You need to be in the now. You need to open your heart and open your energy and just create in that moment. And that's what the alchemy is about. When they talk about spiritual alchemy, it's about creation. This is what the golden light, the golden energy is about. When you've got that alchemy or that golden light, you can create. And it's about co-creating in harmony, creating in union, creating in peace. All these things that the higher vibrations. And again, this comes back to the universal law of vibration again. It will literally tune you in to a higher frequency so that you're open again. The angels have been very, very active lately. I mean, I keep feeling angels around myself all the time. They don't necessarily show themselves in a sense of like as these beings like stood up with the big wings. I just see white wings that are always placed behind me, so I know that the angels are around. They're very much around. They're very connected. They're very much connecting us for peace, harmony, love, understanding, wisdom. They're bringing all the time. And they're an angel, like all guides, are in service because they know that we're all interconnected. We're all part of the one same one vibration. So all is everything, and this is why the guides are here. They're trying to help us awaken to source energy and to source of obviously of our spirit, and we can start to walk around and express our light and express our energy in this realm, in this like reality, and they're connecting us at the moment. So the angels are around bringing that as well, and they're in service. So call upon your angels for service, for support, for anything you need at the moment. There's so much guidance at the moment. I've been given sort of the staffs over the last couple of days. I've been given one again, like I've got a big old like a golden staff that's just been put in my hand. Again, Ascension, Serapis Bay is very much around Ascension at the moment, with awakening and using the energies, and very much again Serapis Bay is white. It brings this white energy. It's got white, so it brings this white light, this white energy, and also white. Although it's like a reflector, and it brings truth, clarity, and stuff like that, it also holds a spectrum of light. It holds these different frequencies, and that's why white's important as well. So seeing that kind of white light is like seeing that divine light, that divine energy. Serapis Bay is very much around sort of like, when I see Serapis Bay as well, I see like temples, and you see like Luxor, but you also see the golden light, the golden energy of the source that's shining about down, and it's enlightening, it's uplifting, it's bringing insight and understanding to many. And that's what the energy does. This source energy acts like a universal sun that shines down energy on each and every one of us, and when it does that, it opens us up It opens us up to our infinite understanding, but it also connects us. It connects us to the spirit world and the spiritual energy, and it also connects us to the knowledge and the wisdom and the intuition, because we awaken and we become aligned again, and we become one with that central sun, that source energy. And once we awaken to that again, our hearts and our universal mind, then we start to walk again in spirit on the planet, but we also align again with the other dimensions and the other realities. And this is what this time's about: is opening up, dissolving, letting go, and allowing new energies to come. It's also about being open as much as we can at the moment. I keep getting given this all the time. They're always telling me to be open, and it's not. Don't be attached to anything. Just be open. That's the message that I keep getting given. Don't attach to anything. Just be open. So it's like, open your energy, open yourself up, and try and remain open in that moment, because you'll receive that communication, you'll receive that understanding, and you'll also receive that insight. But don't become attached to anything. Um, Create the creative flow of the universe works like that. When we open up to source energy and we open our being up to that energy, then we become open to receive the highest intent, the highest outcomes, the highest insights. But because we're opening up, then we're allowing our essence to start to shine, but also attract what's needed within our life again. So that's the universal law of attraction. So it's very much around that. So it's not about, because a lot of us go out and we're trying to create things, but we're creating like from a 3D reality, where we're trying to create for I don't know, I suppose, like materialism. And we could be creating for, I mean, it could be relationships, it could be anything. But the way I feel, the way that the shifting's happening at the moment, we need to be open up to our source energy and our essence, and just allow that frequency of that light, that energy to be expressed through us, and then that will attract our highest vision of what we can be, or what we're trying to sort of like become, in a sense. Or not even become, it's just be. Becomes the wrong word, because we're trying to get somewhere again. Being is just being what we are in our light, in our energy, and it's very much around that. So this is what that time's about, and that's the insight in the reading for today.